Hello friends, today's topic is the middle class in India, problems and prospects. My lesson plan includes why it is in the news, who comes under middle class in India, changing contours of middle class in India, problems and prospects of middle class, and finally conclusion. Friends, this year the budget was presented by the finance minister on 1st February, and the main focus of the budget was the concession given to the middle class. In the budget 2025-26, the finance minister announced the concession of 12,75,000 rupees as the threshold limit for tax-free salaries from 7 lakh rupees per annum. This was a big jump in the history of the budget in India. By this concession, those salaried class who earns less than 12,75,000 rupees will get the maximum tax benefit of 80,000 rupees. Those who are earning 50 lakh rupees per annum will get the tax benefit of 75,000 rupees, and those who are earning 24 lakh rupees per annum will get the tax benefit of 1,10,000 rupees. Friends, why the finance minister was forced to give so much concessions to the middle class? As you know that because of this concession, the government has lost 1 lakh crore rupees as tax revenue. This is because the fact that it was found that the savings to the GDP was at the lowest level, and secondly, the consumption level has also come down. Thirdly, there was a food inflation, high interest rate, and reduction in the discretionary income of the middle class. And so, the middle class has no enough disposable income to invest in the economy, to boost the consumption in the economy. And these were the main factors behind the big concessions given by the finance minister of India. Friends, now question arises as to who comes under middle class. There is no unanimity among different scholars or institutions. According to People Research on Consumer Economy, price, a middle class consists of those people who have annual earning income between 5 lakh to 30 lakh rupees. According to National Council for Applied Research, the middle class consists of those individuals who have earning between 2 lakh to 10 lakh annual income. According to World Bank, those individuals who are earning $10 to $20 per day come under middle class. In Indian rupees, it means those people who have annual income of more than 3 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees, they are bracketed under middle class. But apart from the criteria of income, several scholars have defined middle class on the basis of the occupation. For example, the professionals, bankers, business managers, lawyers, doctors, teachers are bracketed under middle class. The skilled workers, government employees in the private sectors, and non-formal sectors are also included in the middle class. The middle class is an aspirational class. It wants better education, better health facilities, better employment opportunities, and a skill upgradation so that more profitable jobs can be obtained by them. Now I switch over to the changing contours of middle class in India. Friends, as you know that the genesis of the middle class in India can be traced in the second half of the 19th century during the British rule, when the Britishers started industrialization in India in a small way. But the new laws and new industries gave birth to the middle class like teachers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, government employees. After independence, the middle class rapidly grew. Now it constitutes 31% of our population of 1.40 billion. It means that around 40 crore people can be bracketed under middle class in India. It is expected that by 2030, the population of middle class will go to 38% of our population, and by 2047, the middle class population around 60%. This means that around 1 billion people would be within the bracket of middle class. Friends, after independence, the government launched mixed economy, whereby the public sector was given priority over private sector, and it was supposed to achieve the commanding height of the economy. Government invested too much in the public sector undertakings, so much so that by 1995, the employment in the public sector undertaking was 194.7 lakh, while in the private sector it was around 80.4 lakh people. But by 2011-12, the situation became completely reversed. This was because of the policy of liberalization, privatization and globalization started by India in 1991. Its effect was visible after 2011-12, when the private sector surpassed public sector undertakings. More people were employed in IT sector, e-commerce, banking in private sector than in public sector. By 2023-24, the ratio of employment in private sector exceeded that of railways, defense and public sector undertaking all together. This was because of the exponential growth of services sectors like IT, e-commerce, logistics, transportation, tourism, health, aviation, media, entertainment and sports industries. Friends, as you know that at present, the contribution of service sector in the GDP is around 54 to 55%, followed by agriculture, which has a share of 18%, and manufacturing sector has only 17%, and finally construction has the share of 9%. The new middle class has now proliferated not only in the urban centers but in rural areas also. This was because of the introduction of Green Revolution in Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, and it is now being extended in Eastern India. The Dhan Dhan Krishi Yojana, launched by the Finance Minister in 2025-26 budget in 100 low productivity districts, would further boost the production and productivity in those areas, raising income levels of the people, and so it will broaden the base of middle class not only in urban centers but also in rural areas. It should also be noted that our economy did not undergo a structural transformation as we have witnessed in the case of China. The growth is skewed in favor of services sector. There has not been adequate growth in agriculture sector or in secondary sector, so much so that the additional workforce in the agricultural sector could not be absorbed either secondary and tertiary sector. And that's why government has launched the Nation Mission for Manufacturing in order to raise the share of manufacturing in the GDP from 17% to 25%. If the efforts of government is successful and the share of manufacturing as well as agriculture increases in the GDP, the growth of middle class will further go up. It should be noted that in spite of the exponential growth in services sector in India, the growth of middle class did not take place fast because the unorganized sector gives 94% employment, and these workers or employees have low paid salaries and insecurity of tenure. The growth of gig economy because of the digitalization further gave a fillip to our economy, but it also put a brake on the growth of middle class because of the insecurity of jobs of gig workers and low paid salaries. Friends, now I switch over to the problems of middle class. As you know that middle class generates half of the national income, but still middle class in India is confronted with several problems. These problems are: first, the wages are not increasing in proportion to the inflation, and this put a brake upon their disposable income. Secondly, there is a huge unemployment among middle class because we see that whenever a few government posts are to be filled, thousands of candidates apply for that job, and so there is a steep competition among the students belonging to middle class. There is a lurking danger of unemployment because of the introduction of artificial intelligence and automation in services, and we see that most of the managerial posts have been disappearing. High cost of education and healthcare further put a brake upon the disposable income of middle class, and so they are unable to invest their money in real estate, in banks for fixed deposit, to purchase share, debentures, bonds. The rising cost of petrol and diesel further put a brake upon their mobility. Long hours of working in the IT sector, banking and corporates further lead to a strain on their mental as well as physical health. Work pressure leaves little time for them to lead a good family life, causing a stress in the family. Skyrocketing prices of property makes difficult for them to purchase houses in urban centers. In spite of the growth of gig economy, the gig workers are suffering from low paid salaries and insecurity of tenure. This obstacle puts a brake upon the growth of middle class in India. Now, question is, what are the prospects of middle class in India? Friends, as you know that by 2050, there would be 1 billion people within the bracket of middle class in India. With the rising population of middle class, they would be the engine of growth. They would have more political clout, and so they will be the driver of the economy. The digitalization of the economy further gave a boost to gig economy, e-commerce and skilling. The more the people will be skilled, the better will be the prospect for better job opportunities for them, and so the income of the skilled workers will further go up. The increased income of the middle class would further boost the development of real estate, the growth of automobiles, and boost the consumption of consumer goods. Because of the efforts of the government to launch National Mission for Smart Cities, the middle class would be able to get affordable houses. With the increasing disposable income, the middle class would be able to invest more in share, debenture, bonds, cryptocurrencies and mutual funds, thereby increasing direct institutional investment, which could go a long way in offsetting the outflow of FPI and FDI. It is expected that with the higher disposable income, the middle class would further give a fillip to new startups. They would not depend upon government jobs, but they would be self-employed. Again, because of the National Mission for Manufacturing as launched by the Finance Minister in 2025-26 budget, it is expected that with the expansion of manufacturing sector, there would be the further growth of middle class in manufacturing as well as in construction sector. Again, the middle class will also grow because of the Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana launched by the government in 100 low productivity districts. With the rising income, the base of middle class will further broaden, not only in the urban but also in rural areas. Friends, now I conclude. The middle class in India is an aspirational class. With the increasing disposable income, digitalization, urbanization and transformation of economy, the middle class is going to play a vital role in coming years. It is hoped that with the growth of the middle class in India, the democracy will further strengthen. It is also hoped that by 2050, the Indian middle class would be able to surpass the US in the nominal GDP, thereby making India the second largest economy after China. Thus, to conclude, the future of India lies with the growth of the middle class in India. Friends, now I have concluded my lecture. If you have any suggestion, give your comment. I will add your comment in the next video. Thank you very much.